Hey, I wanted to give you all a few money saving tips on building raised beds of sorts. Now, these are my swales. Water's going through here. So since my little mounds will melt soft dirt and it'll all just turn to mush and kind of run downhill and clog up my ditches. This is a connecting ditch from here to here. So I just save old cedar branches, cedar posts. You can use black locust. Anything that's rot resistant is best, but you can use any kind. I wouldn't really recommend using pine. It doesn't last very long, or it's just softwoods in general. Cedar is really good if you can get it. So use that to save yourself a few bucks, and also save all your old bricks, just miscellaneous, just whatever, bricks and rocks, stuff you might haul off, or just go throw in a gully somewhere, or whatever it is you do with it. Keep it around because you can use, very useful. Stick them in the walkways. That way when I have all this water, I can just walk across these little rocks. That'll save you a few bucks. Don't get rid of them just because they don't match, they don't look good. They last a long time, so just stick them out of the way somewhere and reuse them. I got one more tip I'm going to show you in a minute. So when you need something to stake stuff down with, you can go buy rebar or landscaping stakes and all kinds of different things. Well, I say save the junk. People call it junk, I call it inventory. These are old bent up metal rods. Some of them were for electric fence. I don't know what they were, but I saved this stuff. I'm going to cut it up and make stakes out of it. So that plus that in just a couple minutes of time will equal, let me show you in a minute. So there it is. I just kind of cut it in the bends. I didn't bother straightening anything. I left all the little weird ends on there and everything. I'm just going to use them as is. Kind of unique little garden stakes. Another tip, if you own a chop saw, you're always burning through blades cutting that big steel. When your blade gets short, that's the time to cut this kind of stuff. So you can get more cuts out of that little blade and you don't have to put a new one on just yet. So I try to cut everything I can. Wheels as short as it gets. As thin in diameter as it gets. So that's it. Well, it's a Wednesday morning, mid-morning, trying to beat the rain that's going to come anytime. Just finished this bed. This was just a soft spot. There's really nothing but mush. So put some stuff in here that ought to be all right. We built it up a little bit. Used some cedar branches and some scrap pieces of metal rod that we cut up as the stakes. I built it up a little bit so it wouldn't wash out when all this water's coming through. Hopefully that'll hold the beds in place. We'll see. This old clay usually does all right. So I did put some leaf mold on top just to make it easier to plant. It's a little rough and maybe choke out some of those weeds that were in there from rototilling. I'll probably put some hay in here after I get some little sprouts going, just in between the rows. Or I might just cultivate it. I generally don't like to cultivate, but in a little intensive bed like this, it may be worth just dragging a little cultivator rake through there by hand. Or I actually have another handheld cultivator that I might use an antique as well. But we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully this bed won't wash out. It really doesn't take a whole lot to hold dirt back usually. So hopefully these cedar branches will do the trick. I'm going to let it get rained in. I'm not going to cover the furrows or anything. I'll just let the rain kind of wash the seed in. I didn't seed last night. I wanted to keep the rats, and mice, and birds from eating all my seed. So my variety is Scarlet Nantes, sprouting onion seed, red winter lettuce, however you say that in French, and then giant noble spinach. Put the spinach around the outside because it is, I don't know if it tells us on here, probably like 55 days or something. The lettuce was 65 and the carrots were like 70. So I put the carrots in the middle because they'll need the least disturbance. Then I put that red romaine lettuce, which will take a bit longer. Need a little bit. You can easily reach it from all the edges though. And then the spinach will come up first. It'll get picked the most, I'm sure. So spinach is around the outside. So it's a cool little bed. This is what happens when you do permaculture on contour beds, and it kind of throws things into weird shapes and so forth. So I'm just dealing with my little weird shape, plus sort of the way I want to bring my water down that way. And the water will be coming this way, I'm sure. We'll see how that See how that goes. I might have to put some rock down just to slow it down from washing out, kind of like I did up here. Just throw some rocks down. Getting away the wheelbarrow, I'll tell you that, but it just kind of holds back that water and keeps it from washing out quite so fast. So good thing to use just random rocks you have for. I'm going to tarp back here, let the weeds sprout, and then way I'll have less weeds to deal with. So I'll just sprout these few little beds back here and kind of do succession planting. I'll plant this one next week, and that one the week after, and then that little one. So beat the rain. And I'm going to work on moving some of that hay out of the ditches so my water won't get backed up too bad. And I also have those beds down there that I might try to get a little done. We'll see. It's almost breakfast time. Stuff's really sprouted a lot in a week. Pretty amazing. Just the lushness of this very moist, fertile soil. So I'll probably try to plant this first bed here today. Just get something in it, and then I'll succession plant on down the line. I'll tarp it all and get rid of some weeds. So I'll talk to you later.